So word was just released. I'm going to jump subjects here. Word was just released that the Dracula X Requiem, the Castlevania Chronicles, was they made an announcement about the voices, and they said that it is not going to release. It's not going to have the original voices. You guys can look it up. I forget exactly where it was that I saw this article. They're not going to have the original voices for the Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood versions. They are going to use the voices that came from Dracula X Chronicles, which was the remake on the PSP. That it was a remake of the 3D. It was a 3D remake. Ironically, that's kind of funny that it kind of goes into that a lot. Remaking 2D games into 3D games is very akin to remaking animation movies into live action movies. I find that very interesting. But Suave, you're kind of right there with me. Dracula X Chronicles was a remake of Rondo of Blood, and then in that remake, you could find the ability to play the original Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night. Both of those versions had redone audio or redone voice work, so everything was in proper English, and everybody had accents, and it was very weird. But the cheesy voice work was part of the charm. A later flip note. The cheesy voice work was part of the charm, and they're removing it. Now the question is, like Suave said, why aren't you just porting over the PSP game with updated visuals? I don't understand that, because now there's supposed to be this there's a mode in there that smooths out the pixels, which they swear makes it look more modern. But if you go to Steam or any indie shop, they all have pixels. They all have very, very sharp pixels. So no, but you're rounding out pixels is not more modern. Knock it off. But yeah, they apparently are. That's what it's going to be. And what I don't understand is why they're not just re-releasing Dracula X Chronicles with the 3D version of Rondo of Blood as one compilation. I don't understand. Unless that's the plan. Unless that hidden on the disc that we're going to find out that you can play the 3D version of Dracula X Chronicles. See, and you know what? The problem with, well, why don't they just make Dracula X Chronicles? Because if they say Dracula X Chronicles, no one's going to go buy it. That's the problem. Notice, everybody, there's a lot of people that are thinking about Castlevania Requiem, and I'll be honest, even I'm not entirely thinking of it. But there's everybody's talking about it. They're all talking about it because they think it's a new collection, and realistically, it's not a new collection. The second they say, "Oh, well, you can also play the 3D remake that was on Dracula X Chronicles," once you can play that on there too, because people are already saying it. It's just Dracula X Chronicles without the Dracula X remake. Once they put that on there, that's what it's going to be. And I assure you, I promise you, interest was up here. Like, from here to here, interest was like up here. And then slowly but surely, it started petering down until, and every once in a while you hear something like, oh, it's going to have these different graphics mode. Okay. Oh, it's going to have, now the voice work. I honestly think that when they say it's going to have the 3D Dracula X Chronicles, interest should go up, and I promise you it's going to go down because people are going to say, it's just Dracula X Chronicles, I already own it, I'm not going to buy it. They're not going to waste their time on it. Like a trifle? Yeah, my table has been like wobbly today. Why is my camera so off? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, well, you know what, Siberian Ninja? That's the thing. I don't think anybody was asking for this collection. I was never asking for Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood on one disc. I was asking for Castlevania 1, 2, 3, 4, Bloodlines, Symphony of the Night, Rondo of Blood, and maybe even the Game Boy games on one disc. That's what I wanted. I didn't need these two games again. I love these two games, but I didn't need a disc of it. Not without a bunch of other stuff on there. Not many people own. I thought that game was widespread. Suave, isn't that game everywhere? I don't know anybody that has a PSP that doesn't have that game. You expect Konami to give a damn? Froman, I don't expect Konami to give a damn at this point. However, the fact that they're releasing anything at all tells me that they do. Me not expecting them to care means we got nothing at all. But we're not getting nothing at all. We're getting something. You know, it's kind of... I'll tell you when this happened. I'll tell you exactly when this happened. Federation Force. Metroid Federation Force. If the franchise was dying, or the franchise was gone and forgotten, it would suck. But it would be a situation of, okay, they don't remember the franchise anymore. Then you get Federation Force. In itself, not an awful game. But after all these years of waiting for a Metroid game, for that to be the game that everybody got, that's what bothered everybody. That's why the views on there were so low. The dislikes on the videos were so high, and it was just ridiculous. That's what bothered everybody. Castlevania is kind of the same thing. You want Konami to acknowledge the series, the franchise, and to do something with it. And then they throw this compilation at you, which is 2 games that we can already get multiple ways and are not even the fun versions of the games that we remember. That's what's kind of an insult. I mean, not an insult, but you know what I mean. I don't see it often. I barely know people with PSP in the first place. Oh yeah, Suave. I know tons of people that bought that when that came out. I personally, I think it's pretty common, but I do think it's a little rare. I don't know how much the price went up on it. I do think it is a little uncommon to find. I think that the Dracula X Chronicles is one of those things that everybody bought it when it came out because it was something that they really, really wanted. And then they just stopped selling them, so nobody. If you were one of the people that bought it, you have it, and you're not getting rid of it. Sony is co-developing the Requiem collection, which is why it won't come out on other consoles. Okay, that's understandable. Well, you know what, Froman? I wonder if they're just using the voice work from Dracula X Chronicles. Do they, since that was Sony that recorded those voices? That's basically their property, man. I wonder if that's what they're doing. I mean, we all know that Sony doesn't play well with other people. Do way to play Dracula X on a console now, not a handheld. Yeah, well, the Wii had it there. That is a good thing for it. I do acknowledge that. That's why, believe me, there's a place for this here. There's a place for the Castlevania Requiem. My problem is that there was so much more you could have done with it, and that's all you chose to do with it. You know, all you wanted to do was have these 2 games, and there's a lot of other games that you could have put on there. I wonder if maybe the other games will come out as DLC. I have the game on my PSP, was lost to the world of sell my cousin's stuff. Oh, God. It sold 0.4. Really? That's very, very low. Happy about the games being put on the PS4, as in the UK we're stuck with the slow. Oh, yeah, see, Arrow, that's the conundrum of it all, is that because of the stuff was 50 hertz for the UK is just happy to see some of this stuff at all. Who in here is constantly wanting Chrono Cross? You know, I never came out over there. Tactics, I think, never came out over there. Yeah, not a whole lot. Yeah, Suave, I honestly thought that the numbers were higher than that. All right, that's understandable. Yeah, okay, then that's understandable. Yeah, Elements. Look at Elements. Me! Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. And that's the thing. I'm not. It's not Castlevania Requiem. It's not bad. It just could have been so much better. And that's the problem. I think that's where people are starting to get very upset with it. It's just that it had the potential to be so much more than it is. And and it's choosing not to be. You know, put the new voices in there. That's fine. Give me the option to put the old voices on. You know, I don't mind the what little bit of translation there was for Rondo of Blood is fine, because the original was not in English at all. So that's understandable. That's okay with that. You know, I'm good with that. EU peeps being discriminated all the time. You hear all those British accents in there? Yeah, just give us both. But while you're at it, you know, throw Bloodlines and Castlevania 4 and you know, everything else on there. Hell, put the Sharp 68,000 game on there and put Haunted Castle on there and just go for it. That's why. Yeah, somebody mentioned earlier we're getting a Kingdom Hearts game with like 9 games on it. You telling me I can't get a Castlevania game with more than 2? This castle is a creature of... Oh, wait. This castle is a creature of chaos. It may take many incarnations. There we go. You gotta jack up your entitlement. Spider House playthrough. Watch how the PSP Classic has Symphony of the Night on their actual voices. I think it would. Voice. All right. Yeah, I see. Yeah, that's really all I had today. I actually think I'm going to skip the normally this is the part of the show where we take a little bit of a break and we come back and we do some game cleaning and stuff. I actually think I'm going to cut that this week since we are starting so late. Both audio modes for Spyro. Oh, nice. Well, Jeffersonia, Wonder Boy and Monster World, whatever the one that was just came, the Dragon's Trap. Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap has both visual styles on there. You can go with a more modern style, and then you could switch it on the fly to like an 8-bit style. Like they give you whole visual styles that you can change up on the fly. All this talk of voices. It's a Sonic stream. Yeah, Wonder Boy is Dragon's Trap. Yeah. Hit trap. I'm going to post something scary in Discord. I recently found out, oh boy. So this is normally the point where we take a break and we come back and we do some game cleaning and stuff. But I think we're going to cut that this week just because we are starting a very late. And I kind of wanted to see how it was starting a little bit late. I seem to like it. It seems to be okay. The newest Kingdom Hearts collection needs to be on every system that Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be on. Yeah, I'll be honest, Sean. I'm kind of interested in this Kingdom Hearts collection only because I played the first one and some of the second one, and I've never played another Kingdom Hearts game. So I'd be kind of interested to see what all the hype is about. I do like the idea that they are all on one, because that was my problem. I didn't want to have to go buy the one for this console and the one for that console and then the two for this console. I didn't want to have to do all of that. Now, if I can play them all on my one system, I do kind of wish it was the Switch instead, because I can take it portably. But if I can play them all in one system, that's actually a good thing to have, and nice to have it very early so that you have time to play all of these games before the next one comes out. I mean, if you have that kind of time on your hands. I love Dr. Wily sounding like Gargamel. I would have got it, but I already picked up 1.5 and 2. Well, because it's 9 games. Because it's what? It's 1.5 is 2.5. All those like Dream Drop Distance and Recoded and I don't know, and all that crazy stuff and Birth by Sleep and 358 Days Over 2 or something. Like, it's all of that stuff, I think. There has to. There's only what there. Isn't that every game on the system? Or every game in the series? Yeah, I own every game. I don't need this. Yeah, Sean. See, those are the people that we say with like the Super Nintendo and the NES Classic. Like, oh, I own all of these games. All right, then this is not marketed to you. This is marketed to me, who owns. I own 1 and 2 and. Is it Recode? What's the other one on the PS2? I own 3 Kingdom Hearts games on the PS2, and that's it. I don't own anything Kingdom Hearts anywhere else. recoded in 358 half or just cutscenes, not the game. Oh, okay. Don't let Kingdom Hearts fans hear you when you say you don't want to play the other games to understand. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's designed for new fans. I would probably say it's also designed for people like me who just I'm a fan, but I don't have that kind of time. I don't have time to go search for all these other games. All the games are already available for PS4. 1.5 and 2.5 and then 2.8. Now, what's the difference between 2.5 and 2.8 though? Is there a significant difference? Or would I be wasting my time to play 2.5 and then 2.8? I own 1, 2, and Dream Drop Distance. I've seen them out for blood when someone says they want to start Kingdom Hearts. Oh. Yeah, I can I have a... Oh, yeah, Suave. Yeah, since we're not going to do the other segment of the show, I do want to talk about this box art thing. I want to see what you had to say about that. 2.8 has different games. Okay. Oh, so these 2.5 and 2.8 and stuff, they're not just graphic updates to the game. They have other stuff on them. That's what I always thought. When I saw 2.5 and 2.8, I thought they were just graphic updates to, you know what I mean? It was just 2, but with better graphics. Like I didn't know that there was that much more to it. And maybe a couple extra features here and there.